everybody. Welcome to the show. Okay, today I wanted to touch base. A couple people pinged me and reached out to me about where the invitations were to the Facebook group, and there's nothing on the site and all this stuff. Like, yeah, I understand. I would also be concerned, I guess, when I thought about it, I realized that I hadn't fully communicated anything to anybody. But the basic plan is to roll out the Facebook group probably tomorrow morning sometime, maybe around 8 or 9 Pacific. I want it to be something that everybody gets their hands on at generally the same time, so that everybody can sort of get signed in and start to introduce each other to each other in a relatively, I don't like it when you go into a group and it's been like everybody knows everybody and everybody's already like balled up into whatever, and you just feel whatever. It's just, I want everybody to have the same experience. We're all into this. We're going to emerge into the group together. We're going to, like, throughout the day Saturday, I want people to have a chance to tap into it and start to grow together as a cohesive unit, focused on the manifestation of our intent and the intents of one another together. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be creating a resonance that's going to be heard around the world. It's going to be happening within our own community here in the United States, on the West Coast. There's places throughout the United States. Over in Europe, there are going to be people performing this ritual almost the whole time that the sun is on the earth. So we're doing pretty good with that. Please, by all means, keep signing up. I am adding a course here or there as interest is expressed. Trying to keep at least 3 available, just until I kind of get the feeling it's time to stop. We're by no means full. It's not going to be jangly or anything, but if we could get some people over in Eastern Europe, that would be great. If we could get some anybody over in the far east from me, I guess it would be further east from, no, further west from me, of course. Anywhere over in Japan, China, Taiwan. I have several people in that area that have worked with me in the past. I would love to hear from you if you want to pursue some of the things that we've talked about. Now is a good time, and if we can get that going on. Australia, there are people in Australia that I think also would benefit from this. Anyway, if we could get that going around the world, I think that would be kind of cool. Whatever. But then also, next steps, what you're going to be experiencing from my end of things, you're going to be getting an email through. I sent out an email earlier today. It should have gone out to everybody, maybe twice even, with the Zoom conference information for tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon, you will be getting, we'll kick off the kickoff meeting. I've got the agenda and the outline and all the materials ready for that. I need to finish wrapping up the PDF, make sure that that's publishable. All the information's there. I just need to kind of groom it a little bit and make it presentable and present it, and attach that to an email. And I'm going to be making all these materials available through the group itself. There's a file section that you can download it from. I'm also going to attach it to the course materials on the Rufus Opus website. I'm trying to find a way to embed the Zoom mantra sessions and the Zoom kickoff and the Zoom lessons learned pieces as something where you can actually use it from the website. There used to be a plugin I've used before that was great, and that plugin is no more. So unless I want to go through YouTube and make everybody be a member that way, it's a pain in the ass. So we're working on it, but chances are you'll just be able to at least use a Zoom link to participate in that. Mantras every day, 4 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be doing a Zeus Hokafali mantra. It's just 108 times. You're going to hear me say very boringly. It's not going to be interesting at all. But you're welcome to listen to it whenever you wake up if you want to start your day off with that. The mantra is how I start everything. I believe as a Hermeticist, in the Divine Pymander, it talks about the divine pymander reveals himself to the pious individual who seeks God, right? Whoever seeks their source is a big deal to me. Based on that, my personal relationship with what people refer to as God shapes my entire experience of existence. I think that's it's a transformative thing that's it's important, right? And this mantra is a way to tap into that, is a way to express your desire to understand, interact with, and appreciate your own relationship to that source that is part of God, that is experiencing existence through us, right? So that's what the mantra is about. It's about focusing you as an expression of deity, focusing your understanding of deity, working through your desires, your wants, and your intents, and your subsequent experiences. It puts you in a position where you receive your desires not as a request as much as an offering, right? Not on your own behalf, but so that the entity that is deity, that expresses itself as you, has a chance to interact with the rest of existence as someone getting what they want. Wouldn't that be cool, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're making an offering here. We're doing it for you, God, right? So anyway, it's all part of the whole aspect of manifesting things as a game, right? As a way of enjoying our life and making sure that we understand, our place in things. So that's what the daily mantra thing is going to be for. I'm going to try to do this every day at 4 a.m. because I've been doing it every day much later at a more reasonable time as a normal person would. But I figure I can do that for this ritual. That would be fun, and I can wake up for that. I'm going to do that for just until the 30th. I'm going to stop doing it at that point. But if you want to join me, you can join me. I'm not going to let anybody else talk or anything during that time. I'm only going to record it and turn it on, turn it off, and that's it. And I'll do that every day for a little bit of time. Links to that will be available at the course site. Also, I'll have that available on the Facebook group. Let's see, what else was there? Mantras, hypnosis videos. Haha. So that part sounds a lot more complicated than it is. Excuse me. I'm also selling hypnosis videos for initiations. If you have taken those, you know basically what it's going to look like. All right, all the hypnosis inductions are about the same. The rituals are about the same. The only difference is the statement of intent for each of the 7 spheres. It's about releasing things, as we've talked about before with the from the Divine Pymander. It talks about when a person's flesh dies, as their spirit returns to the entity that is the Nuos mind in the 8th sphere. As it passes within each of the 7 spheres, it relinquishes a negative aspect of that sphere that we pick up here in the material world, right? With our resonances to the distractions of samsara or Vanity Fair or whatever you want to call it. As we pass up through these spheres, we're going to release those things, but we're doing it in a way that specifically targets our intent, right? And our intent is something I'll get to in a minute. But that's like the big golden pile of bullion at the end of the rainbow, right? That's the big prize that we want. That's going to shape that changes our destiny in a positive way across every aspect of our existence, right? The chaotic dream of the impossible dream, the infinite change that you would not expect, a blessing out of the sky that you were sure you weren't going to get, that comes your way anyway. Anyway, this is part of what we're trying to materialize. That's our intent. But let's see, the hypnosis part of it, that you're going to be taken through this point where you're going up through these 7 spheres in a similar way to from the Divine Pymander. You're relinquishing the negative aspects of yourself, and so that's the statement of intent that we're going to do on those first 2 weeks. And what that does, and we're going to release everything that stands between you and this big golden prize, right? The symbol of that, we're going to make a sigil of that. We're going to include that in our ritual, and in the hypnotic thing, there's going to be a point where you visualize that that symbol. So it's important to have that symbol already created before we go into this, right? And then during the hypnosis thing, you know, we'll conjure all the spirits. We'll say the magic words from the oracles, the Orphic hymns to the planets, and then we'll conjure the archangels. The statement of intent will be to release anything negative from that planet that stands between you and the experienced materialization of your desired intent, right? So like for me, I want to be an AI prompt engineer that makes over $300,000 a year. This is something that I'm qualified to do. It's reasonable and within the realm of anybody could do it, honestly. if you really pay attention over the last couple of years and you've put yourself in a position to have on your resume something like an AI czar, which I happen to have made sure I did at the time, and I've got the experience and the training as an administrator to support my ability to perform that role, right? But a lot of these positions, they're looking for they're looking for years of experience that are completely impossible to have, right? So it's a bullshit position that was created out of thin air around the concept of AI at the same time that I was getting related experience in the bullshit that is AI. Okay, so it's perfect for a person who has Mercury and Gemini, such as myself. Okay, it's just especially a Taurus person with Mercury and Gemini, who understands that bullshit makes the flowers grow. You know, the AI revolution is just like, oh my gosh. It's amazing, the potentials. Anyway, so that's something I'm qualified to do, and I can position myself to take advantage of recent technological trends. But I don't have the schooling to go with it. I don't have the PhD, the master's degree, the computer science education, or the specific roles in leadership that would qualify me to just slip into these jobs, no questions asked, right? So I need a little bit of nudge from the supernatural to create a series of unexpected serendipitous events that are in my favor that I can take advantage of to manifest this opportunity, right? So that's what we're working on for me. And I've got a sigil that represents that. I'm going to bring that to each of the 7 spheres on the way up. I'm going to say, in the realm of the moon, anything negative related to waxing or waning, manifesting or unmanifesting, any attachments I have to things or anything that I have allowed to stand between me and that manifestation of the prompt engineering position or something equivalent to that. And that's something we'll talk about too. You pick something that's equivalent to it also, you know what I mean? Like for me, the prompt engineering thing is a proof of magic. It's a demonstration of the effectiveness of what I've been saying this whole time. It's like I said, it's relatively reasonable, but at the same time, it's relatively supernatural enough to be like, holy cow, right? But specifically, it's $325,000 a year, right? And I don't give a crap if I never get an AI prompt engineering position if in my pursuit of that goal over the next 2 weeks, I end up with a series of opportunities that land me the equivalent in some way. You understand? I am going for the equivalent of $325,000 a year. That can take many forms, right? And I don't care if I get it at the end of the 2 weeks or if I get the opportunities to get it in the end of 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to manifesting that as soon as possible with evidence in the next 2 weeks that I'm taking strides towards that are tangible and showing up in my bank account, right? I want to see some strides towards manifesting that kind of lifestyle change. Okay, I've had enough of an understanding of how things seem to work lately around here to understand that most of what they tell you is bull crap about everything, and there's just no point in living like that. There really isn't. And it's a simple way out is just take what's just sitting there. It's just there for the taking, and you can redirect it for your own interests. And that's what we're doing here. We're eliminating anything that stands between us and a series of miraculous events in each sphere. So anything that's related to waxing or waning. So any plans that we have that stand in the way of this happening, anything that we have in motion going forward, or anything that we have being taken away from us right now, all those things get taken away, right? We release that. Anything that stands between us and that manifestation, whether we think it's for the good or not, we just let it go. So that's what waxing and waning is about. In Mercury, we're going to release evil machinations, right? Or maybe that's Jupiter. I can't remember. No, I think Jupiter is like evil accumulations of wealth, right? So we're going to be releasing in each of these spheres these aspects of ourselves that stand up and keep us consciously or subconsciously from achieving these outlandish, miraculous events in our lives. And I'm going to tell you a secret that sounds crazy. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But things are crazy about things when you start doing this stuff. You hear about things, about piles of money falling out of the sky, right? You hear about that, and it's incredible how things can go your way sometimes when you start doing this kind of magic. You release the things that stand up or stand in between you and your prosperity in each of the spheres, and it's amazing what goes away. Okay, it's all these little things, and you get lighter, and you get lighter, and you get lighter. And we're doing this every 2 days. We're doing it in just a very simple, straightforward, and direct way. It's a prayer. It's an offering of a candle and an incense stick, and it's just a simple request for the things that stand against you, that come from yourself, are released. The disharmonies are released so that you can achieve miraculous things. Okay, and it's to change everything, right? But it's also super lightweight magic here. It's not anything that's other than benefic, and it's not, in my opinion, dangerous in any way, shape, or form. I don't see. With being careful with the wording, I'm going to specifically say, in the same way as I do in the initiations, very gently allow these things come to pass in our lives, without causing harm or damage to any involved in our family or loved ones, or the whole, covering all your bases with the best ways possible. Yeah, it's like Gentlemen for Jupiter Part 2. It is going to be like that. So that's another part, is we're going to bless each other's good works too. But anyway, the whole thing about all this stuff on the way up is about getting clean. And then on the way down, the following Monday, so in Paracelsus, it talks about how silver can receive all the rays of the other planets, and you can use silver as a talisman for everything. And I do, and it works, and it's great. And I'm going to have I do have them. Nicole was blessing these earlier with her sound healing. These are the everything talismans, right? I've got 5 of these made so far, and these have. Let me just show the whole thing here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's under. It's in a folder that I had collapsed. All right. Get rid of. Okay, so the everything talismans are these guys, and they are on both sides of a silver talisman, right? And in a lunar hour, I conjured all 7 of the elemental, the planetary kings and the gods and the archangels and and the 28 spirits that are associated with them, and I blessed and consecrated these talismans to receive all 7 rays of the planets. And we're going to be doing the same thing on the 8th day, when we all, in our lunar hour, call on all 7 of the planets that we've released all the things that stand before that, between us and our desired intent. And then we're going to conjure into being our desired intent, and we're going to ask for specifically what we are asking to see manifest for us, and also the equivalent thereof. Right? We're covering our bases so that we have opportunities in abundance coming our way. Okay, so it's not just what we specifically want, but also opening ourselves to receiving the equivalent that we might not have thought of ourselves, right? So a lot of times in my life, I have found myself blessed beyond my expectations, because I've taken an opportunity that I never would have seen coming my way, you know, because it was obviously designed for me, and I was like, oh, yes, I will accept that, because obviously, like, only an idiot would pass this up, right? And that's honestly the only reason I've gotten blessed. Every good thing that's happened to me, like with government contracting, when I started out as a tech writer, my first tech writer job was handed to me because I was the only person that applied, right? All my life, I've had this incredible opportunity come my way just because I took a chance that I don't know. I have done magic repeatedly through my life to go back in time to tell myself to take advantage of every good thing that came my way. All right, and I feel like it's sort of an iterative thing. Anyway, in this ritual, we're going to call on all 7 of the kings, and we're going to end up with a thing to actually get our stuff to manifest. These everything talismans, by the way, I'm gonna try to sell them for like around $300 each. But the people who take the class, I'm gonna try to give you guys at least $125 off, whatever the cost of the class was. So you'll have an opportunity to get one of these for like 175, I think is what it'll be. But everybody else will have to pay $300 for them, because these things are fucking. I'm sorry, these are really cool. A couple friends of mine have a smaller version of these where I only had 5 of the 7 on there, and they've had really good success with them too. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. My dog has to go outside. But anyway, that's our next steps. Tomorrow you'll have everything set up. I'll have an invitation to the Facebook group. I'll set it up on a lesson, just like the Zoom lesson is right now on the course page. I'll send out an email notification to members. If you sign up for the class after that, and you can keep signing up for the class up until the kickoff meeting. So I'm going to cut off signups tomorrow at noon Pacific time. And please don't even ask me for anything, any extensions. I barely have time for everything I've already committed to. So please don't ask me to do anything more for anybody special. If you have questions, please feel free to participate in group chats and on the Facebook pages as I have time. But I can't have, I've got limits, man. So if I seem gruff or rude, it's not because I don't love you personally, I don't think you're cool. It's just, I just have too much other things. I'm building things on purpose that I have to give my time to if I'm going to make them succeed. And if I stop and give it to other people, then it takes away from my success, and I can't do that right now. If I do that, I throw away my future, right? And it's too risky. I've got too much to lose to spend time trying to make sure I take care of everybody along the way that needs more of me than I can give, right? I have to do good boundaries here. Otherwise, it's just... I hate that. So please, I'm trying to put up a front right now. So please don't ask me for more than I'm already offering. Talk to me in public. If you do have some personal questions, do reach out to me and through my RO instant messenger. I'm not the only person that reads that. I have help with that. My wife also assists me in responding to some of those instant messages, so I don't have to deal with all of it on my own, and she can kind of help focus questions, and we can talk about it and stuff, and I don't have to worry about it as much. So do feel free to reach out that way if you have a personal problem with things. But if you're not, if you want like just personal one-on-one time, I can try to schedule stuff, but I'm gonna have to charge people for that. I've got to really focus on things to make things, to cover all my bills, frankly. But I'm doing pretty good with that, but I just want to make sure. Anyway, boundaries. What else was there? I think that was all I had to say. If you do have questions, let's see, Frater Arce says, happy birthday to Nicole too. Yeah, if anybody wants to go to the thing, please sign up, and the link is in the details. I will catch you guys later. I gotta take this dog out. And if you have questions, do go ahead and ping me through my RO Instant Messenger, and I will get back to you. That's the best way to reach me. Also, emails rufusopus@rufusopus.com. I am blatantly using AI to help me respond to emails, and it's incredibly useful. Anyway.